of this year. It was actually just adopted by the state on November 30th. In anticipation of the potential for additional project costs that were identified a long time ago. We, as you recall, we amended that listing. It does not commit the town to spend any of the funding, but it puts the Environmental Facilities Corporation on notice that there may be additional project costs the town may be seeking approval for in the future.
So shouldn't we get that approval before we pass a resolution?
I think Councilperson Daniel was going
I have
to
something,
address
so.
that actually, so that you have some protection there. But that process does involve submitting materials to the Environmental Facilities Corporation for their review and approval before you.
Represent to the overtime, and I'll make a statement, I guess I'll foil it. Did the contractors submit to the Department of Labor a request for dispensation to work overtime?
That would all be in the construction report.
The contractor is on a lump sum basis, and
That's not what my question is. It's required under any public work that the contractors file with the Department of Labor a request for overtime dispensation. And if you go to their website, you can find it.
You know, we're going to ask is if you have questions you want to submit to change it, we've gone well beyond the 5 minutes,
Okay.
the question is dispensation on overtime. You're
I'll
familiar
give
with
you my
it.
phone number. You can call me, or I'll foil it, that's all.
No,
And I'll foil with AIA, that's.
you don't have a problem with all the foil, and you're going to get the information from him. We get it from him, but you want to know if the contractor has dispensation for
It really,
additional hours, and it's going to be posted on the wall probably.
no, the
Job site
dispensation
sure
has
has
to be
the maximum
posted.
hours per day. That should be the process.
The one thing to note about that is just because the contractor is doing more work doesn't mean people are working overtime. We all know how this works. The contractor can add 50 guys when they had 20. Now they're getting a lot more accomplished and nobody's working more than 40 hours a week. So just because there's additional work that's going on doesn't necessarily, I don't know specifically, does not necessarily mean there's overtime needed.
Well, it says so right there in their letter. As a result of these changes, our inspector has been on site for more than 50 hours
you're
per
talking
week.
about
The contractor.
UWR, still saying,
Different.
Contractor has had to add staff, which required additional time for your oversight on the project.
If you think about it, the treatment plant site is a large place. If you have one thing going on in one space, you can have an inspector stand there and watch it. If you have multiple activities happening in different places on the site, you need additional resources so that those activities that are being watched are happening at the same time. That's part of it.
And what Hal's talking, what Hal's referring to is dispensation on the total amount of hours per day that can be worked by an individual. No? It needs to be approved by the Department of Labor.
Department of Labor, right.
It's just a formality, basically. It has to be approved by the State Department of Labor. They may question, and Deb, was it? Or your thing, please?
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth, excuse me. Mary Beth is right, that they may ask the contractors, why can't you put more people on to do the job within 8 hours instead of working overtime and working Saturdays and Sundays? The expense is at the expense of the contractor, be it extra manpower, as in physically, or extra manpower in overtime. And that's what they'll ask that. One of their main reasons for wanting to know this is they'll also, you know, make sure that they're being paid the correct prevailing wage rate.
But the dispensation for it's per day, Hal.
No.
With man hours per day, all right?
No.
Whether they put 10 men on or 20 men on, they have the ability to work a certain amount of hours per day, right, Jim? Right.
They can work in as many hours as they want. There's no limit.
There is a limit.
Right. So the long and short of it is all of those issues
Just
are addressed.
With prior, okay.
Right. They are addressed. If you go to the construction trailer, all the Department of everyone knows, because this project is funded by the state, it is audited. It is periodically audited by a consultant that is hired by the state, and it will be audited throughout construction and just audited for those purposes. And it will also be audited upon closeout as well. So there are a lot of backstops for those kinds of issues. So.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, no.
Elizabeth Tyson. I don't know if I missed something here, just asking for clarification. The resolution is the supervisor to sign a technical services change order for construction services. Do you know what these changes are?
For engineering oversight,
Does,
that's the answer. It's engineering oversight on a daily basis. That is within his contract on a time and material basis to provide the town engineering oversight to assure us that the contractor is doing the work correctly.
because it says additional hours of work per week, off-site work, and the addition of new buildings requiring additional engineering services.
Can I explain that, Jim?
Basically, when our contract scope was established, it was long before it was designed. We had to do an estimate for the work that would be designed, approved, and including construction inspection. During the design process and review process, additional buildings were incorporated in the overall design, and it was outlined by the facilities plan that was approved as part of the consent order process. So those buildings got added. It just changed the amount of time that we spend looking at the construction. All that work was included in the construction contracts, but our time and material budget that we
Right.
established for this task did not anticipate it when we came up with that.
And these are necessary changes.
These were required changes, so yes.
Okay.
In order for the plant to be operating, in order to get the DEC approval for the system,
Okay.
they had to add all these things. And the 16-month contract changed to 17-month contracts, because the construction contract was 17 months,
Right.
because they needed it to build all of these things, which was actually an expedited timeframe. So when we estimated it, we said, oh, we think 16 months is appropriate. We wrote our contract, that's what we thought it was, 16-month construction.
All right. The other, Hal, the thing that he was trying to ask is, are these being certified on a daily basis? And certification is something that we, the people, are going to be asking about all things that our board is going to be approving, not just this item.
Certification on this project must exist, or we're not gonna get paid, reimbursed. It's all part of a process, that certification is a must, or contractors will not be paid.
Okay,
That's
but-
why we have Delaware and Chazen Engineering as oversight engineers on the project,
all right,
to
but
ensure that.
all right, but Keith, I go back to that meeting we had with the auditors where we can't certify our budgets.
That's a whole different issue.
I know it's a different issue, but I'm just saying, we the people are insisting now that things get certified. We are watching, because we didn't pay attention for years, and it's not the current administration. But it's, things got out of hand, and today we will have certification for things. And the other thing I wanted to say, I wanted to thank the police department, the East Greenbush PBA, for putting the dinner on for the seniors.